Hi, everyone. Thank you for tuning in today, and thank you for those that are tuning in later to watch the replay. Today, I have a very special guest. It's Lynn Kitchen, and she does money talks for women. And I am going to dive into a little bit more of her bio because, there's different people that talk about money, and I really love Lynn's energy, and I hope you can feel it as we go through the interview together. So let me just introduce. I'm not going to pretend I remember everything on here, so we're going to pull it up. And so Lynn Kitchen, she's a financial consultant, an educator, empowering women to become smarter money managers and investors so they could take control of their destiny and build lasting wealth. So she's got 35 years as an investment advisor, and she's just passionate about giving back to women, which I love. Lynn was a pioneer at a young age, being one of the first women on the West Coast to build her own broker dealership and then built and sold not one but two during her career. And so Lynn has created a financial clinic called Money Talks for Women and a place where women can transform through knowledge. Lynn is dedicated to sharing easy strategies that help give women more confidence to really make those investment decisions and reach their retirement goals faster. And so, welcome, Lynn. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you for making the time to share your wealth of knowledge with everyone.
Thank
Um,
you, Tammy. I'm delighted to be here, and thank you for inviting me.
yes, you're so welcome. And let's just dive into a bit about you. Like, what started you on this whole journey? Why are you so passionate about this?
Well, I'm passionate about helping women to really grow and prosper. And what I love about what you're doing in the world, Tammy, is helping primarily women and others to live a full spectrum life healthfully, but in from an inside out with an authentic, in an authentic fashion, so that you really feel your life, that you're really living the life that you were gifted to live, and that you're doing it in a way that is fulfilling and meaningful, not just going through the steps and the motions. We only have one life, right?
Yes, and I so agree, right? Because and then we only really remember our life when we're actually feeling it, and so that's so important. And so I'm so happy to like link, your message with mine, right? Really, this financial wellness is so important to be able to really bring out our authentic self in many ways and to really live that way and to create a really balanced life, right? And so, like, how did you start on this journey? Like, what drew you to it? Like, why, just women? I know you have a story around this.
Well, I think that it came rather naturally to me, and it might be the same for all of you out there. I needed money. I mean, let's just call it this is the reality. I needed money at a point in my life that I absolutely had none, no money and no resources. And I was scared and panicked. And I said to myself, I have got to not only learn how to make money, but once I make it, I've got to learn what to do with it. And most of my friends, including my own mother, really were clueless. And I think that I noticed as a young college student, really, and thereafter, that people work hard for their money. They absolutely dedicate a large part of their life, for a livelihood. And of course, we're following our passion. We're doing the kinds of things that we hope to give back and create that meaning. But then there's this skill set that many of us shy away from. And what I love about your work in the world, Tammy, is that it's all inclusive, and money has to be part of that formula because we live in a dualistic society where money is absolutely essential.
Yeah, it's so true, right? And I love that, right? Because it's true, we all do need it. Need money in this world, no matter, what our beliefs are and things like that to survive, live, thrive, whatever we want to call it, right? And so I'm so happy that you followed that because yeah, like very much like myself, I feel that I married a financial advisor. So I have someone supporting me, Lynn.
Right.
But
So as part of your family, value system to pay attention to money and know what to do with it and make better decisions. But imagine most women are not raised with any kind of measuring or learning capacity, and it's not taught in schools.
Mhm.
So I got all the way through college, working very hard to put myself through college, and still broke. And that was the impetus. So I said to myself, I mean, I was a good salesman. I put myself through college selling books door to door and advertising store to store and whatever I could do to make the ends meet. Once I started to determine that I wanted to go into the money business where I would learn not only what to do with my money if I ever had money, but also I wanted to learn the language of money. You notice how it's kind of almost like a foreign language to many of us. And I thought if I can learn that language, I can help translate that to other women. And of course, it took until now for me to really step up for women. My entire career, 35 years, was working primarily with men, as you can understand, because
Mhm.
that is the industry.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the first women, as you mentioned, to open my own broker dealership on the West Coast at a time when most women were not allowed to even be a stockbroker. So that kind of stepping out and breaking some glass ceilings, along the way, was in looking back was pretty gutsy. And now I have an expanded wisdom base that I can give back. So my passion now is really to help women who want to move ahead, to wants to learn more about money, wants the kind of confidence because they've been scared too long, maybe sleepless nights, too many sleepless nights, and maybe depending on others to make decisions for them that have turned out to be wrong. Um,
Mhm.
and those are prices that we pay, right, ladies?
Yeah, it is. And it's like you painted the picture really nicely, Lynn, right? Because yeah, 35 years, right? Working mostly with men because they're the, stereotypical decision makers or maybe not so stereotypical, right? Because it's like we often, and I'm guilty of this. I kind of gave my power to him and just let him tell me what to do. And now I'm starting to turn, the angle, so to speak, on that. But I just want to commend you, Lynn, for seeing that there is a problem, there is a gap. I mean, it's not new, and we need more people like you to really, yeah, step up into maybe what is not so familiar into the new to really help women out there, women that are ready and they understand that they're having this issue. That they want to empower themselves, right? And really plan for their lives, especially if something happens in the marriage, right? And so,
Exactly. And it can happen very quickly without our knowing. And it's not just marriage. We can have losses. We can have people who pass away, and then we're left holding the purse strings, and we don't know what to do, where the papers are, what's worth anything, how to make a decision. So it takes a little bit of willingness to learn. Now, we live in an economy where you can Google anything, you can learn about anything, but
mhm.
it doesn't mean that you will,
Yeah.
because it's very, very complex. As the financial industry is extremely complicated, and there's layers of learning that one needs to be aware of. But what I love to do is take this complexity and make it simple, make it fun, and really empower women, because I have this theory that inside every woman is an ace money manager just waiting to be empowered. And even those of you who, let's just, call, you probably have a lot more experience in life managing money than you give yourself credit for, especially if you have raised children. Do you know that raising a household and of the budget with children is exactly the same as managing an entire department of a corporation? And if you have that kind of experience, you have to really understand that you have more experience than you give yourself credit for. You understand a lot more about when to buy bargains, right? You buy those swimsuits in the winter, and a winter coat in the summer. you know bargains, you know how to manage a budget. More than that, if we just shift forward a little bit to taking care of ourselves and putting ourselves first, so that we're the ones taking care of ourselves and learning a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, making investments, first of all, that are safe. And then you can move forward into a little bit more risky things. But at the same time, I won't use the word risky, but what I will use is the word building. Building your wealth and building your safety and building your security, but doing it on your terms. Understanding that you can invest in what you believe in, and you can invest in a way that supports you first.
Yeah, and it's very true. It's a very good perspective because, as women, we're balancing so much at home, right? Where we have all these tasks and we're so good at balancing them. And it's like we got to take those skill sets, that we're doing already and just, we're adding the numbers to it, right? So I really, love that perspective, and it's really almost like changing this mindset that yes, we're able to versus like, having this like I guess it's something we just sort of brushed to the side and it's always been done that way. And yeah, it's asking, I mean, us to step in many ways to something more for ourselves. And I think as women, there's this talk about the money gap between us, and I think many women are ready and willing to really step forward, and to start to learn. And it starts with this building you're talking about, right? This really, yeah, learning from a small step at a time and starting in a safe way, and having a mentor to support us in the process of that, right? And so it really it complements like what we already do. It's like shifting our mindset around that essentially.
That's all it really is. And being willing to play in have a full spectrum life. I mean, your relationships are important. It's the relationship with you and money. Your health is important. It is your health with how you are growing your passions and your dreams, and how are you going to fund those over time. You might have a passion and a dream of seeing your child go to college, and being able to afford that right now is no joke, right? To
Mhm.
invest quick and early when your children are young, so that you have 20 years to build for that, takes a little bit of knowledge, takes a little bit of skill set, but it mostly takes the decision that that's what you want to do, and just get the information on what it's going to take. And it takes some investment skill set and know-how now more than ever. We also all want a really strong, safe retirement. You want your older years to feel like, oh, I can relax now. I don't have to work until 90 years old if I don't want to. Those kinds of things take planning. It takes generational planning. It takes perhaps decades. So I really love working with younger women too. Those of you who really are now coming into your own entrepreneurs. We have more women starting businesses now more than ever before. So yes, we are filling the gaps by means of our actions, and good for us, right, ladies? Because it's you who are doing these amazing things in the world. Okay, you're earning a lot of money now, you're scaling your businesses, you're growing. What are you doing with the personal income in because it doesn't stop? You pay yourself a salary or some kind of a compensation package. Now what? See, so there's certain things that we can do along the way to get you prepared properly for the things that you want in your future dreams. Your future is calling to your current self, saying to you, what are you doing to prepare for me?
Mm. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that how that plays out. And so, how does this financial wellness, like, how does it complement our authentic self? Like, how does that wrap up together in a bow?
That's a great question. It really complements our authentic self because we owe it to ourselves to be living in a fully um, integrated way. Because money is not a separation of who we are being in the world. Money is a fulfillment tool.
Mm,
And if we can use any tool, whether it's face cream to, make our skin feel and look better, the skin being one of the largest organs on our body, uh, uh, to use tools to utilize our minds, our intentions in productive ways, to align ourselves with the values that we truly hold in our hearts that are important to us. Let's say family could be your ultimate value. How do you want to provide for your family so that you can provide safety, so that you can provide um, choices? So I believe that money allows us the opportunities to not only have a better life, but you have more choices
And so,
and
this.
less stress. Let's look. Now, this is a big one. We often think that money is stressful, but the opposite is true too. No money is even more stressful.
Yeah. Yeah, it
So,
really is. Yeah.
yes, it
Go
is.
ahead.
So, I would like to just say this: mindfully understanding finances, mindfully budgeting, mindfully saving, and taking time to mindfully invest wisely will reduce stress and anxiety that's related to all kinds of uncertainties that might keep you up at night. So this frees us up. It frees us up mentally and emotionally so that we can actually focus on what truly enriches our life, such as our relationships, our personal growth, and our health.
Yeah, it really is a well-rounded, and money plays into every part of our life, whether we like it or not, right? And so, like, I like what you're saying here. And so, how would women align their financial investments with their personal values and life goals? Like, where does one, yeah, start to navigate that?
Well, that's a great question. Tammy, it begins with an analysis of yourself. What are the values you hold dear? Um, and once you can understand why money could add to those values, as I just was mentioning, to provide safety, to provide security, um, it is an underpinning so that you can live with those values. Once you begin to move into or have enough assets to begin investing and learning the skill sets that make for better investing. In other words, how to make better decisions in
Hmm.
your investing. Then you can align also those investments with your values. For example, I have many clients who are passionate about saving the environment. I have other clients who are passionate about social justice, others who are passionate about investing in local initiatives or communities. Well, there are companies that you can invest in or other initiatives that you can invest in that are growth opportunities that align with your values. In other words, you don't have to succumb to investing in the things that you don't believe in. You can invest in things also that you're familiar with. For example, an Apple computer, or sorry, Apple cell phone, for example. How many of us carry those around all day long, or or
Hmm.
a any kind of a cell phone? Doesn't have to be Apple, but the manufacturers of products that you live with all day long that help you and your life, those have been traditionally pretty good investments. So that way you are aligning with things that you use, things that create fulfillment for you, and that you understand the purpose of the goals of the companies that are providing, manufacturing, and distributing. these companies, and you can grow with them by means of investing in them.
So I can see that it's really being clear, what matters to us in making the decisions on, for first of all, motivating ourselves to like, see money a different way, to do something different than we always have. And then being able to, invest that asset that we've, created all this time to align to really like supporting our authentic self, but also these other whatever we believe in, to really like honor that and align that to our portfolio, right?
Yeah.
And so what do you think is the biggest like challenges, with women that, many of us kind of know a sense of what to do, but what are some of the biggest challenges you see in that? And how do you support them in navigating through that, you know what I mean?
Yes, I do. The biggest challenge is putting it off.
Hmm.
Just thinking that, oh, I'll get to that someday. The biggest challenge is also thinking that someone else will do it for me. And in the end of the day, yes, you can live your whole life with someone else managing your money for you, and let's just hope that they do a good job for you. You know, uh, if you do not understand what someone is doing with your money for you, it's your responsibility. Those are your assets. You work hard for your money. I know you do. So I find that women really. I hope you're not. It's not you. I hope it's not you. But I know that a lot of women put it off, and they also think it's too hard,
Mm.
or that they're not smart enough. I know that's not you, but I absolutely see it a lot. And a lot of women feel like it's too late for them. It's too late. They're going to have to catch up. Maybe they're starting way too late, or they wish they would have started years ago. It's kind of like the same. Remember that old saying that what's the best time to plant a tree? The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. That tree would be, blossoming with fruit today. But the
Yeah.
second best time to plant a tree is today,
Hmm.
you see.
Yeah.
So getting started today is the most important decision that you can make for yourself, to say, I do want to understand my own decisions. I want to take control of my own assets, even if I have a professional investment advisor handling my money. I want to know what are the decisions being made on my behalf, and what are the implications, and where is it going to take me, and why, and allow me to be a part of that. You see, so allow me to be a part of the relationship with my own money, so that I can feel it. So I guess what I'm coming around to, Tammy, is that most women don't feel that they understand what's going on with their own money, and because of that, they feel that it's out of their control, and then they hide their head in the sand, and they say, "Well, I'll get to that someday." But every day that goes by is a day that your money could be working for you.
Yeah,
You
it's so
see?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and I'll admit, like, just like before I started, like, taking my power back with my husband, like I didn't understand anything. It took a lot of humility to even say that. I don't get this, and afraid to look stupid asking questions that, are so simple. And it's like, it's like going back to when you were like, you know, in maybe like elementary, asking these questions, and it puts many people back in a place that it doesn't feel good. And you're right, Lynn. And it's really, about choosing something different and planting that tree today, right? And to really get out of our own way. To there's some vulnerability there, and the very likely the same thing that is affecting our ability to manage and look at our money probably is affecting our business. And so, it's so
Yeah,
important in many ways, and I'm sure you see that as well, Lynn.
I
And
do. I do. I think it's a great example. Thank you for bringing that up, Tammy, because it's that fear of looking bad, or it's the fear of looking ignorant. As I mentioned, most women feel like they're not smart enough, or it's over their head, or it's too complicated. So the reverse of that is that they don't want to look ignorant or feel bad. You mentioned feeling bad, but just think of it this way: learning something new is very always quite uncomfortable. If I had to learn how to do a plumbing, you know, in a sink in the kitchen, I couldn't do it. I would have to admit, you know, I can't do it. I would either have to hire it done for me, which is what we do with our money.
mhm,
Um, and it's interesting because as it relates to plumbing, you can get it done for you and fix the problem, and then it's done. However, with money, it's not that simple. Money is an ongoing, as we mentioned before, it's an integral part of our wellness. It's an
mhm,
integral part of our livingness. So it's not something that we can just abdicate forever. It will come
mhm,
back to us at some day. If we abdicate it too long, then we have done ourselves a disservice. It's like not allowing yourself to live your own life, allowing somebody else to live your life for you. And
mhm,
the wonderful thing that I want women to know is that it's not that hard. In fact, what I have done is create, I hope it's okay to talk about this, but what I've done is create a financial clinic, like a little school where women can come and ask questions. And it's safe, it's just for women. We can ask questions that are on our heart. There's no question that we say is too dumb. There's no question that
mhm,
isn't important. Every question that women have is a stepping stone to learning, and more often than not, the questions you have are the same questions that all of the other people have that are just starting to learn as you are. And then what I do is I help bring you some confidence. Once you start getting confidence, listen, that bad feeling starts to shift, and you start feeling like, I knew that all along, or that's not as hard as I thought it was. Yes, I got that concept. I understand interest rates. You understand interest rates more than you think that you do. You've lived through a life of a lot of changing economic scenarios. You just don't give yourself credit. And once I help women understand how much they already know, then they begin to feel confident. And then we move to the next level, and then to the next level. So
mhm,
I
mhm,
have three levels. The beginning. Some people already have quite a bit of investment experience, and so they begin at a higher level. So we really meet you at the level that you are, and then move you forward. And that's why I call it, in back of me, it's called Wealth Builders Express. It's an
mhm,
express train, like a get on board. It's a fast train where women can ask questions and move forward together.
mhm,
And it's a weekly program where, we just get up, we get on Zoom together, and we just begin learning.
mhm.
Even if you've never ever had an investment experience in your life, and I doubt that that's true. Most of you probably are investors already, and so there's always room for growth.
It's so true. And if you're not growing, then you're decaying, right? And it's also important to feel not alone in it, and not be told it's okay. And I know in many levels we're very competent in other areas of our life, right? But it's like giving us ourselves a space to be vulnerable, to be, held and know we're not alone, to ask these questions that we may not feel as comfortable asking at an appointment, even if you're seeing maybe a financial advisor. You may
Mhm.
let your husband, do all the talking, right, or something, and you're not really, oh, I don't know if I should ask that. Maybe they, I don't want to look this way or whatever. So this is a beautiful like idea, definitely, to have a space for women to come ask questions wherever their level is at. What I'm hearing is that this is wherever you're at with your financial understanding, that
Mhm.
you are, yeah, this is something that you're offering to all women, or is it for women at a certain level of business understanding? I'm just curious.
No, actually, it's for all women who want to begin to learn more. That's the only criteria, that you want to learn more, you want to get better at money decisions. That
Mhm.
is the only criteria, and you want more confidence in the area of your finances. So I have in this group, there are multi-millionaire women who just don't understand investing, had never been taught. Then,
Mm,
then there are other women who are just beginning, making money. They're making money, young entrepreneurs. They're making money, but they've never been exposed to how to make investments, how to think properly, how to. And so they're just of full of fear, and also full of anxiety. But at
mhm,
least there's a place that they can come to be with other like-minded women. In my career, most of my clients, and we would manage money for couples, corporations, nonprofits, and a woman would come in to the office, usually with her husband, and sit through the entire process and not say a word, not ask a single question. And I always would ask specifically to the wife or the significant other, what does this mean to you? How do you see this? How do you feel about this? Most of the male investment advisors at that time, hopefully they're better now, but at that time were more like doctors that had pretty gruff uh, bedside manners. They really didn't care what
yeah.
the woman thought. But I would try to bring the woman's point of view to the table, and it was not easy, because women in a former generation were very reticent. I think that we were maybe culturally ingrained, that money is not a good thing to talk about, but it is good. It's a good thing to talk about, and it makes you feel good once you make good decisions. And believe me, there's a lot of wonderful things going on right now in our economy. AI, new technology, all kinds of new things that are coming that we have never seen before, and that will change our lives. Our lives will not be recognizable 10 years from now. There
Mm,
are fortunes to be made. And that's not to say to you that in any way that to scare you, because some people are scared about making fortunes. It's interesting. Um, some people have a fear of success, and they don't really want a lot of money, because then they'd have to figure out what to do with it. Case in point, once we get you to the point where you are comfortable with your own money and empowering yourself to learn more, you're able to stand on your own 2 feet. And then by then, you really want more money. You want it actually creates a better entrepreneurial spirit within you. You go out and create more money in your own business, because you see your investments working on your behalf. And then that empowers you to want to grow your own business more, so that you can pay yourself more, so that you can invest better. And it
mhm,
absolutely begins to empower your whole life.
mhm. Yeah, I could totally see that, Lynn. And it's like I like that, you hold the group for such a range of women, because in many ways, women can then see it doesn't matter where you are in life. It really is like, we struggle with this at some level, and it's time to really bring it to the forefront. So I really commend what you're doing, Lynn. Um, and I wanted to ask something just because, like, once women, uh, bring themselves out of the covers, right? Get over the fears. Like, how do you, support women in healing maybe these fears or conflicts to just like step into more confidence and have healthier money habits?
It's actually easier than you think. It's really quite easy. There's formulas for most anything. It's just a matter of learning the formula and applying it. And the tools today are so automated, not like before when you really had to think about it. And now it can be almost automatic as long as you have things set up correctly for yourself. And that's the easy part. So once again, once you get some confidence built, then it begins to snowball. Does that answer what you were asking?
Yeah, that highlights definitely that perspective that things have changed a lot. If you have a certain mentality, is very much about mindset, right? In the sense
It
of
is
how we
about
see
mindset. I did want to add though, it's also a good plan. It's like anything else, a good vision, a good plan, and then following that with some understanding. And usually you can
it.
get further faster if you have a good mentor who's been down the road before, who knows where the pitfalls are and how to help you navigate so that that you don't make mistakes quickly along the way and that you can move forward faster. And that's also what I'm here to do because I do have a wealth of knowledge and experience that I believe that women need now, because now's our time. It is finances and money might be the one thing that could be holding us back as a womanhood.
Yeah,
We're starting to make more and more progress, and we're moving. We're lowering the gap in so many ways, but now it's up to us. It's up to us to get over not so much the glass ceiling, but rather our own doubt ceiling.
yeah, that inner ceiling that we place on ourselves, really to
Correct.
rise up, because in order to make that difference and to change the world, like, they're saying that a lot of the problems are created by males. I mean, I will just say that, what if we stood into our power and did something different, and that takes money. Um,
Let's stand in our power, Tammy.
yeah, yeah, and
That's
it's very much like very much
remember that. I'm so glad you said that.
it is.
It's good.
Underneath the energy behind it, it's like if we're not in our power, we place that on our money, And so it's just a energetic lens on my end. That's what I'm seeing here, and what I see in my clients as well, right? And so, yeah, it's really like it's like fear of not taking action, and then the fear of outliving the money. Like it's time to like release the fear and just take action, and to step
Right.
into our power, and it I feel like doing something like this would be a very healing experience of taking action in a safe way, right? To really step into our power, to pull the knowledge under our sleeve, be the plumber of our life, and yeah, really to like, we're using it every day. We're opening the tap every day, and we're just learning how to like, use all the knobs and everything, you know what I mean? And so, um, yeah, like really step into trusting yourself. And Lynn has this, wonderful, I think it's like a program that you have, right? That monthly program to ask questions.
Correct.
And perhaps this is a good way to sort of wrap this up, is that what are some like, practical steps that women could take to start to gain this financial independence, while, maintaining that more balanced lifestyle? I know everyone's in a different place, but, if you were to round out some practical tips for us, what would that look like?
Well, I think that the best thing that you can do is pay yourself first. Pay as much of your of earned, profitability, your cash flow. Those of you who are entrepreneurs, make sure that you're paying yourself first. Yes, you have a lot of other employees and perhaps and bills, but you come first. If you're not there, then everything else folds around you. So pay yourself first. Make sure that you are fully funding your own retirement plans. meaning if you are self-employed, you have access to an IRA account, individual retirement account. Make sure that you fund it to the maximum amount that you are allowed annually, and then look for other ways that you can add to that, so that you are, again, paying yourself first, that into the kinds of accounts that are tax protected or tax deferred. Those are the ones that grow without taxation for your retirement. To take care of yourself in that way first is, it's really the best way to at least start to change your mindset toward self-care.
Yeah, it's that resonates a lot because in many ways we do need to take care of ourselves first. So it makes so much sense what you're sharing, right? To really
Yeah.
invest in ourselves first, save for ourselves first. And so I love that. Thank you so much, Lynn.
Sure.
And yeah, I'm just curious, Lynn, is there anything that feels left unsaid that you feel like would be important for the audience to hear? Any last words?
Well, I think I would like to just thank you for being here. This message is for women who are ready. Not every woman is, and that's why you are the top of the arrow women who are leading. And first, we have to lead ourselves with strength so that we can be a sustainable force. This is going to take a full spectrum, authentic life of balance, healing our money fears, empowering ourselves so that we can live confidently and purposefully.
Yeah, it's so true. It's like in order to be our authentic self, we really need to step up and um what do you call it? Really allow us to desire that we do want more money. We do want to take care of ourselves, our family, really like having and taking our power back to really step into this knowledge to so we could actually shine and express our authentic self. Because I
That's it. That's it. So that we can shine, so that we can express our authentic selves. And so we can ask the question, for the sake of what? For the sake of what do we want more money? For the sake of what? And begin thinking about how important the answer to that is. For the sake of what? And allow that to inform who you are being. Allow that to empower the dreams that you hold in your heart. Allow that to know that there are resources that are in play, that are available to you. And it's just a matter of learning confidently that all of that I just said is true. And with a little bit of guidance, it can be yours and it can be fun.
Mm. And let's take just like a few breaths and just like feel into this like need to really express your authentic self with more money, right? Just takes these moments to really feel into it, to know, remember what really matters to you, to who you want to be and how you want to show up and how money plays into that. And so it's so beautiful. I'm so glad you came in here today to share with us all this. And it's like sometimes we just need to hear things differently, right, Lynn?
that's,
And
that's
yeah,
right. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
and then if people want to get in touch with you, they could definitely reach out here on LinkedIn. But is there other ways that you would like people to get in touch with you?
Yes, I have something special for you. I have something special for all of those who are Tammy followers, all of the people who love Tammy and who also want to empower yourselves. Um, I would like to invite you to consider this offer. It is I will pay your way for 1 month on my train.
I love
Yes,
that.
yes. Now, this is a membership that is monthly, and so it's a $79 value at this time for a 1 month access. Come on board, get a taste of it. That'll give you 4 weeks of each week we meet on Zoom for an hour and a half. All these questions and discussions. If you can't make it, I'll send you the replay, and I will sponsor you for 1 month. And all you need to do is email me. I'll give you my email in a second, but on the email, I want you to put in the subject of the email, Tammy. Okay. Put
Thank you.
Tammy in the subject of the email so that I know that it's coming from you,
Yes.
uh, coming from your followers, Tammy. And that's when I'll reach out to each one of you and make sure that I gift you 1 month's program. If you want to stay on board, is $79 from that point forward. But this is going to give you a full taste of what it's like to start learning and begin at the end of 1 month. You'll probably feel different. You'll see some new possibilities, and it might even change your life.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Lynn. Well, there
Yeah,
you have it.
it's called the Wealth Builders Express, which I love train travel. So we get onto a virtual train, and we just ask questions, and you can listen, you can learn, and it's amazing the conversations that we're having about what's going on in the world, in the economy, how it relates to you, your money, your mortgages, the cost of living, inflation, all of these things that are keeping us up at night. We talk about them, and I'd love to have you. So email me at hello. I'm sorry. Here it is. It's Lynn at lynnekitchen.com.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind putting that in the chat,
Yeah, we're definitely going to put it in the chat in all the
okay?
places right after so that you don't get it wrong. Like for now, it's Lynn as Lynn on under Lynn, her name tag there
Right.
at Lynn, Lynn at Lynn. And then what was the last part?
At middle initial E. So
Okay,
it's
E.
Lynn, Lynn, at lynnekitchen.com.
Okay, perfect. That sounds easy enough, and definitely we'll put it in the comment section so you can access that. And definitely, just DM us if needed. For whatever reason you're not seeing it, you can't find it, or whatever. Definitely here to help you and connect. And thank you, Lynn, for inviting us on your train.
Yeah,
And offering my followers this amazing gift to really, yeah, put your toes, test your toes in, feel held by Lynn and her presence and her knowledge and all the other women that are on this path with you so you can step in your power and be your best authentic self. And so thank you everyone for being here, for tuning in today. So lovely to have you. Please, if you have any questions for Lynn moving forward, put them in the chat, tag her, and yeah, we'll happy to answer questions. I'm sure Lynn is happy to answer questions if you had something that came up after. Do you offer clarity calls as well, Lynn?
absolutely. It's, same. Just use the same uh, email and just let me know, Tammy. Just put Tammy in this topic so that I know that it's someone special.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Lynn. And yeah, we look forward to having you here again.
Thank you so much.